You ever try making a big decision when your entire family is watching?
Ugh, absolutely brutal. Especially if it's the people you love most. Arjuna knows all about that today.
All right, Beller. Give us a sec to get everything lined up, and we'll pick this apart together.
So last time, we left Arjuna in this state of existential dread, right? He was looking at this impending victory and feeling it was completely hollow, utterly meaningless.
Yeah, the idea that winning would feel like losing, but it was still a bit abstract. A general feeling of this is all for nothing.
Exactly. And today, with verse 1.34, that abstract horror gets a face, and a name, and another name. It becomes painfully, specifically personal. By the end of our talk, you'll see how naming the people in our conflicts, seeing them as individuals, not just opponents, is the crucial step that defines the entire crisis.
Okay, so we're moving from a philosophical problem to a relational one. I'm ready.
Let's set the scene. Arjuna, the greatest warrior of his time, has asked his charioteer, Krishna, to drive him to the center of the battlefield. He's not strategizing. He's not looking for a weak point in the enemy formation.
He just wants to see who he's up against, to look them in the eye.
Precisely. And as he looks, the reality hits him, and he begins this roll call of grief. He turns to Krishna and says, "Here I see."
Who does he list?
Teachers, fathers and sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other kinsmen. It's not an army. It's a family reunion.
Wow. Yeah, hearing it listed like that, it's heavy. It's everyone.
It is. Now, let's do a small exercise. I'll read a direct translation of the first part of the verse. Teachers, fathers, sons, as well as grandfathers. Just pick one of those roles. Say, teachers. What does it mean to face your own teacher in battle?
My teacher. Okay, that's the person who gave me the very skill I'm about to use to potentially kill them. It feels like a total betrayal, like I'm destroying the person who built me.
That's it exactly. You're getting to the heart of it. He's not just seeing an enemy soldier. He's seeing Dronacharya, the master who taught him archery. He's seeing Bhishma, his great uncle, the patriarch of the clan who practically raised him. These aren't abstract categories.
They're specific people to whom he owes everything. So every single name on that list is a separate stab of pain.
A separate moral injury. He says he wouldn't kill them even if they kill him. Not for a kingdom, not for glory, not even for sovereignty over the three worlds. The price is just too high.
So his refusal isn't about the fighting itself, but who he has to fight.
Yes, and this is where we go deeper. This enumeration is a powerful narrative device. It's showing us that Arjuna's identity is completely interwoven with this web of relationships. He is a student, a nephew, a grandson, a brother-in-law.
So if he destroys them, he's destroying himself? Is that it?
In a very real sense, yes. He is facing a total identity collapse. The people he's supposed to protect and honor are the very ones his duty as a warrior, his kshatriya dharma, is telling him to kill. This is the definition of dharma sankata, a complete crisis of duty.
Wait, what's that term again? Dharma Sankata?
Dharma Sankata. It's a profound moral and ethical crossroads where every path seems to lead to a negative outcome. His duty to his family and his duty as a warrior are in a head-on collision.
And he just freezes, which I get. What could you possibly do in that situation?
He breaks down. His bow slips from his hand. His skin burns. He can't stand straight. It's a full psychosomatic collapse.
He's not just sad. His body is physically shutting down under the weight of this impossible choice.
Because what's the point of a kingdom if there's no one left to share it with? No one to be king for?
You've got it. The victory becomes utterly, devastatingly hollow.
Now, this brings us to a really common misunderstanding of this moment. What's the first thing that might come to mind when you see a great warrior drop his weapons and refuse to fight?
That he's a coward, that he lost his nerve. He's scared and looking for an excuse.
Right. It's easy to label it as weakness or cowardice, but the Gita asks us to look closer. Some interpretations suggest this is actually a moment of extraordinary courage.
Courage? How? He's collapsing.
Think about it. The courage to charge into battle is expected of a warrior. It's his training, his identity. But the courage to stop, to question the entire premise of the war, to say no to your duty because of a higher principle, compassion, that's a much rarer and, you could argue, a much deeper form of courage.
So it's the courage to not retaliate, to refuse to participate in something he sees as morally wrong, even if everyone else expects him to.
Yes, he's not afraid for his own life. The text is clear on that. He's terrified of the moral and spiritual consequences of his actions. He's afraid of destroying his own soul. His paralysis isn't from fear of the enemy, but from love for them.
So, let's bring this all together. Verse 1.34 is this pivotal moment where Arjuna's crisis becomes real. He doesn't see an army, he sees a network of relationships that define his existence.
He puts names and faces to the conflict, and that changes everything. It's no longer about land or power, it's about people.
Exactly. And his emotional collapse isn't a sign of weakness, but a profound display of his compassion and the courage it takes to confront an impossible moral dilemma. He forces us to ask, what is the true meaning of duty when it conflicts with our humanity?
It makes me think about conflicts in my own life. You know, at work or even with family. It's so easy to label the other side as the problem or the opposition.
And that leads perfectly to your practice for this week. Take one small disagreement you're having. It could be with anyone. And instead of focusing on what you disagree about, take a moment to do what Arjuna did.
The roll call.
The roll call. Mentally, or even on paper, list the relationships. Not my annoying colleague, but Sarah, who helped me on that project last year. Not my stubborn uncle, but the person who taught me how to fish. See them as a web of connections, not a single point of opposition. Just notice what that small shift does to your perspective.